I did like what they were doing. You know, they have massive team fight. It just overall, they VGJs doesn't have nearly as much. When they have the Guardian Greaves on the Dark Series, going to be able to get those nice combos up. They have good ways to defend. They have high scaling cores for later on, high burst to deal with the Terrorblade as well. And like Peter was saying as well, when you pick the same draft twice, the other team tends to be a bit more prepared for it. So this time, I think FY is going to be a bit... I would expect him to have a much harder game on those rotations. We do see IGV going for those quick early ports out. This time, instead of going for that aggressive move, because I think that actually really hurt IGV the last time, is when they went for that aggressive move, they didn't expect the Tusk to be able to turn it around in such success. So we see them putting out 2 wards right away, 1 ward in the mid lane and 1 ward to scout out the movement in the enemy jungle. So that's going to be the big one. They're going to be watching where FY is moving this time much better than the last time.
Yeah, it's not even that Vici have such a as strong of a laning phase draft as they did in the previous one, but you can just see the extra caution already from IG to ensure they have a good laning phase and can scale up, even maybe now making audible calls a bit here. We're seeing InJuly head to the top lane on his Darkseer in preparation.
A little bit of a role swap, right? Paparazzi playing the Invoker and Sakata playing the Lifestealer.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, it's not like I know the history of this team well enough to say, is Paparazzi just a better Invoker player than Sakata? Sakata, as we know, is a flashy player.
Paparazzi plays a lot of those mid heroes too.
Yeah, they're both
well-established
mid laners.
He does play a lot of the Invoker. I'm pretty sure of that one. And it looks like he's going for Quas build first, so maybe he's going to be going for like a Quas Wex build so they have some catch for the Tinker. However, now they're not going to have the potential from the global Sunstrikes with the Sanking. We did see that come into fruition in a lot of these games where if the Sunstrikes weren't there, they would be missing a lot of the kills. So we'll see which build he wants to go for. Maybe he just wants the Quas regen in order to be able to survive what the Tinker dishes out, be able to harass him back a little bit, and maybe go for some quick early rotations.
As our laning phase gets underway, remember the great Ben Merlini Wu even saying the role swaps usually never lead to being a good thing, but we'll see if in this case IGV do it for
ROTK
the better.
Getting a lot of pressure with that open wounds on him.
ROTK in trouble in the early game.
But rotation coming out from FY. Dogfight's now getting it turned on him. They should be okay here though to back out the shards. Not able to trap him.
This is going to be a rumble in the south here as we get try-on-try action. Lots of setup potential here, of course. Super can do his damage, kind of harassing a bit on the Disruptor, but obviously needs more levels if he needs potential to kind of lock down ROTK or anyone from the side of Vici here.
Pretty interesting lane setup, I think. They maybe wanted to dodge the Darkseer with the Terrorblade, but IGV going for that aggro tri-lane. Now it's aggressive in a 1v1 versus InJuly. I don't think he wants that. He already picks up the TP. He wants to get the hell out of this lane.
Yeah, he tried to even pull the lane a bit, but
he can get a couple last hits. Like early on, level 1 Ion Shell, you can walk up. You have a high base damage. You can get a couple, but yeah,
he's like,
lane swap definitely needs to be coming out.
This. You see the Tusk heading out from the lane right now, but as aggressive shows up. Did he also pop his level 1 Metamorph yet?
No.
No, he didn't even use it to try to bully back the Darkseer. He's holding on to it for now. So we'll see if he decides to use it to establish dominance more so in the bottom lane now or not. Looks like a rune to spawn.
Instant switch up again now. IGV, they see the Terrorblade move bottom. Lifestealer go top, Sang can go top. Darkseer's probably going to make a rotation there soon. First, he throws the Ion Shell onto Dogfights though, so he can put some aggression onto ROTK here. ROTK actually eats the stun, taking a good amount of damage here. ROTK.
Body block, body block,
he's
body
dead.
block. Smell my Sand King bottom as he just prevents him from making his way back home, and it's ROTK with the first blood.
InJuly gets 322 gold from that one. Very fortunate for him. That's pretty much the dream as your Darkseer. He's like, here, take this Ion Shell. Oh, you got me a kill? Thanks, man.
Sweet stuff here for the DS.
Yep.
And for IG to be able to kind of mirror match and keep Vici in check at this point. It's going to be on them.
So he went for the Exort anyway. I thought it was a slight possibility he might go for the Quas Wex just because he started with Quas, but I think this is the much more appropriate build for the Global Sunstrike with the Sand King. It also gives him much more team fight potential and scaling potential. Quas Wex has been pretty, I mean, I haven't really seen it that often actually. It's been pretty rare.
I don't know. For me, at least, I'm not personally a big Invoker player, but whenever I see all these amazing stars play it, they all have a different take on the Invoker.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting what Paparazzi thinks, whether it's skipping talents, whether it's favoring damage, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I do like the way that he went for the Quas first too, because versus Tinker, it's actually a pretty hard matchup for Invoker if you don't do that, because you actually can get very harassed down because he has the range advantage, Tinker has damage advantage, and he has burst from his 2 spells as well as laser, making you miss CS. So it's a cool approach coming out from Paparazzi for this mid lane, and he's doing very well for himself. 15-7 to 13-8. He's winning the lane.
Well, we're not seeing laning pressure yet from Vici, and that's when you normally scout out what FY's up to and where he's going to be trying to get. But he floated towards the mid lane. No openings really there. Coming back towards the bottom lane because you got to pull all the attention there, which maybe you give IG credit. Drawing the, the supports from VG to kind of stay put here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's also what they were. Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do. They really want to pressure the Terrorblade with some type of aggro duel or aggro tri-lane in a way. And also, that ward that they have in the jungle, it's spotted FY rotating like 3 or 4 times already. So you can tell they had a much better game plan coming into this one. ROTK eats the stun, getting pressured with the rage. Sakata maybe able to bring him down, saving the stun for ROTK, though Dogfight's trying to apply Caustic onto the creeps. Will it be enough? It will not. ROTK able to just walk out of this one. Sakata, though, no mana. Ooh. Looks like he's going to get turned on here. Creeps on him, tower on him as well soon. Fenrir. Will they be able to, with the snowball coming up, FY saving it as long as possible. Dodges the stun as well. FY.
Damn.
He's got Arcane Rune as well. He should have Ice Shards coming up in a second. Gets another trap.
All worth it now. What rotation power coming out. What a performance already from FY. Not able to kind of be the bully in the laning phase, but he can respond at a moment's notice and turn a fight right over on his ass.
Big overcommittal coming out from IGV, going for that dive between the tier 1 and tier 2, going for a centaur. It's a very hard kill to go for that. When your rage is such low duration, you don't have that much damage coming out, no burst coming out from the Sand King Lifesteal just yet. I feel like it's a little bit bold, a little over-eager for them to go for that one, but beautiful reactions coming out from FY, coming out from Fenrir as well. Both these supports now, even though they were a little under-leveled from the pressure in the bottom lane, they're both level 4 now on the Tusk and the Silence, so that's like the dream for VG.
And unfortunately a nightmare for IG. You just went through all that effort, you rotated lanes, you put down those deep wards, so you prevented stuff like that, and that you could hold that laning advantage, and now they just kind of let a bit of that power slip away. And
Fenrir gets now a D ward in the mid lane.
Yeah.
So the support's coming out for VG, doing very well.
Fenrir also plants down another ward up into the high ground area and maybe see if the Invoker decides to step off from the mid lane, head off to the jungle, and they leave it for a support on his own. They know that they can pounce at that moment, or maybe just to scout that guy back there. Dogfight's rotating through the lane. But aggressive straight to the jungle here. Hasn't really been able to have a strong laning presence himself. Obviously started at the bottom, then to the top, was in a position against Darkseer, then he had to head back bottom.
Oh, nice smoke break by Dogfights here.
Okay.
Should be okay. He has the Burrow Strike to get down the cliff. Is he able to do the Ice Shards, though? Is it enough to block him so he can't stun over? It is!
Wow. Not able to get the range to make it to the safe zone below. FY sets up another one, or Assistant setting up another one, and VG claim another life. 3 to head.
Those low levels of Burrow Strike, sometimes you're clicking down the cliff. It's not, the range is just not very far. It's just very hard for people to get that. And the Ice Shard's just blocking that slight little margin again. FY, just beautiful rotations coming out. Even though he was under the vision a lot of the time, he's still making it work with the TP top and now the rotation bottom.
That's when I just feel like I scream pathing and just pull the plug. That is unreal. Well, VG get another. Freeze has been uncontested here in the mid lane, building his way now towards those shoes.
The cores on the side of IGV are doing very well, though. They're all just pretty much free farming, besides the Lifestealer with that one unfortunate dive in the top lane. He was able to net himself the top tower already, so 7 minutes in, very early. Paparazzi under the vision of that ward, as you mentioned previously, so every time he's going to go for that jungle resortment, they will know.
See, and then now we have Disruptor heading towards the mid lane, and he, it's like he's there, and VG know he's alone. They ping him out at the moment. They might eventually go over and do something about it. But yeah, as mentioned, continuous strong warding game here for VG. And with that laning ward, might have spotted this rotation coming out. Dogfight's hoping to get a setup here. They're even bringing in more reinforcements, it looks like.
They want the tier 1. This is like the standard, the cookie cutter lifesteal rotation that we've been seeing a lot. It's also because aggressive is gone. They like, this Terrorblade is not laning. He's just completely jungling. We have to take advantage of this. Pressure towers, close the map control, close the jungle potential off from Vici. Here we go, Surge coming in.
Okay, ROTK getting shoved back a bit. And now suddenly Sakata phases on forward with an Ion Shell. FY, though, the nearby babysitter, hits him with the shards to help block him inside. And that chase is going to be stunted. Now they're looking to go for Dogfights, hiding within the Sandstorm. They already have the sentry down. He gets the Surge.
The Arcane Curse, though, might be enough to bring him down with the Orb of Venom. And he does actually get brought down. The Orb of Venom tick plus the last tick of Arcane Curse before that actually brings him down. ROTK, though, getting pressured by Ion Shell. Sunstrike not really needed, but would have cleaned him up anyway. Nice little wall committal from In July. They net themselves a tower, so losing dogfights, netting themselves ROTK in a tower, worth it for IGV.
It is. It takes them a little longer than they like. This is farm time still for the Tinker in the mid lane and for the Terrorblade in the top lane a bit, but yeah, the IG came in there, they had a mission at hand, and mission is accomplished.
I love seeing that this combo though. We see this the Fenrir FY combo. They're making the rotation. You're seeing the Silencer. He has 100% kill participation. Sure, it's only 9 minutes in, but they're making those rotations, and that's what I love to see when this duo it does come out.
Yeah, I was nervous because we weren't seeing that in the group stage from him at all, and I almost felt like I was like, what happened to the days of the FY Fenrir powerhouse duo? Well, it's a bit back in action here now for VGJ, with one already a game up. One more could secure him into the next round.
Aggressive, going for his own aggressive play onto Super by himself. Super, though, actually gets brought down. Aggressive just with the right clicks with treads. Actually being able to do enough. Super actually used his glimpse earlier on an illusion, so he didn't have it up there to be able to send aggressive away. So
he just shoved him in a locker with that one.
Nice individual play.
Yeah, freebie right there. Aggressive, you know, a bit wary in the early laning phase on finding a home, but now has been sitting comfortable here with an extra support kill.
I like what IGV did though. Since, you know, the meta was committed there, they think maybe he's going to try to get a little bit of chip damage on the tower, so they port 2 or 3 heroes up there to make sure that that doesn't happen. Sakata trying to go for an aggressive play onto ROTK, but ROTK notices him in time, gets the stun, freeze. 300 gold from that Boots of Travel to be able to get involved, make more space for that Terrorblade, but IGV's dominating pretty hard in this early game, even though the kill score does not say so.
Yeah, they're still holding the lane dominance where necessary here. Tinker's going to be able to get a little bit more wiggle room in the mid lane, it looks like, for now, to be able to finish out those Boots of Travel, but VG are also persistent on getting ROTK to that bottom lane. I imagine they're hoping for him to get to that level 6, and then a Blink Dagger, I'd imagine, thereafter. Stampede could be a very valuable tool in this one. And
all good smoke coming out here for IGV. Disruptor ulti online. Dogfights only level 5 here, but they do have the Ion Shell. They have the Surge as well. I believe In July does he have his mech finished up yet? Almost finished up on the mech as well. So making a nice, quick, aggressive move coming out. They want to get some deep wards coming out. FY actually breaks the smoke, gets glimpse back, though. He's got Snowball, but nope. Never mind.
Storm already in spot, ready to go before a Snowball could come out, and they'll turn it into a nice little solo pick. That could help Darkseer get that finish on that mech.
Yep, very close to him. With Iron Talon and Arcane Boots, 11 minutes. He's doing very well for himself. Paparazzi as well has his Midas, already on his way toward that point booster if he wants to go for it. Boots Travel online for freeze.
Okay, big items coming in, and ROTK is level 6, and Stampede's also good to go. But really, who's in the better fighting shape? It feels like it's still going to be IG at this point.
Sakata goes for the Midas as well. They feel like they have the late game secured and everything, and he wants to be able to match the farm of the Terrorblade. That's also a very hard thing for Lifesteal to really do if you're not always just being involved in kills all the time. You want to be able to match that farm somehow.
Yeah, plus you don't have an immediate vehicle that's going to be ready to go. I mean, I don't know how Dogspike's farm is, but I don't imagine he's getting a Blink Dagger any minute, so it's like you might as well prolong and wait and get the armlet until you have that bomb ready to go. So making the most of the timing window to kind of accelerate the farm is definitely feeling like a solid choice here.
Smoke coming out from Vici. They don't have any Blink Daggers online, but they do have the Tusk to kind of act as that pseudo-type Blink Dagger to break the distance, but Paparazzi just finishes up one camp. He's going for the second one. Are they going to be able to get it here? No, they just want to go for the securing of the tower with the next use of meta.
Yeah, they scan behind the tower to see if maybe anyone's lurking behind it, but it's not going to get a read.
This is good. I mean, towers are very important with a Tinker lineup always, especially with a Terrorblade lineup too. Just opening up the map control so you can get more places to farm, and also letting the Tinker have more places so he can boost travel in and just take enemy jungle farm as well. Having those methods are very important. ROTK getting some pressure on him. Sakata with the nice rage. The Sunstrike coming out. ROTK juking it.
Okay then. Ankle's broken from the Invoker on that one. Will not allow him to get the finish, and Sakata's going to have to pack up shop and walk away. Rotations coming out. Does draw a lot of focus from VG to be there at the assistance of ROTK.
It almost looks like he could see that Sunstrike. You see that like perfect little move around it?
Somebody check that computer.
What's going on here?
Whatever the case may be, I'm sure teammates are calling it out. You know, maybe they're even seeing the Invoker cast in the spell, and they're like, ROTK, please.
Just got to keep that in the back of your mind always when you're playing versus an Invoker. Just those little cuts can always make a big difference when if you're running in one direct path, he's probably going to Sunstrike in that one, especially if you're slowed. So small little turnarounds and just like turnbacks always work well versus the Sunstrikes. Aggressive wards coming out from Vici in the enemy jungle, able to see the rotations as well from IGV.
Yep. So it looks like they may have just pinged on top of that ward. They spot it there with the sentry. Nice eyes. IG, though, very thirsty for this tier 1. We saw them vacuum their way through those trees to catch anybody.
Oh, glimpses the illusion. Wants to save his ward, but no, the second one will get it. 100 gold for aggressive. Yeah, IGV is just trying to claim any type of tower pressure, tower damage, even chip damage is good versus Tinker. Of course, because of March, it's just always difficult to be able to handle through that.
It's a bit of what we see from IG here, from IGV. Yeah. Really pressuring the objectives when they know. The late game scaling could be a bit more tricky here in this one when you're going against VGJ.
They'll probably have to go for, like, I mean, if they want to, like, siege high ground without, like, through kills, they might want to go for, like, the Guardian Greaves into the pipe, something like this for in July, into, like, the Blink Dagger. Maybe probably Blink first just so they can get that big team fight potential, since in July is their since Dogfight is their big team fight besides the Darkseer, he's going to have a late Blink, so there's another way to kind of, like, bring him into the fights.
Yeah. He's going to be their only way to
This is nice. This is a great rotation, though. Quick rotation from the mid lane. Tinker not in position to be able to defend this one, and they might even just bring this tier 2 down. But as I say this, it looks like VGJ is setting up for a smoke. ROTK did just finish up that Blink Dagger. Global Silence is online.
It's a big one. They could stampede their way in with a global and get a lot of people along the way. But I like Super's positioning. He could be forced to just tank the gank or wait out for a glimpse TP.
Global coming out.
Shows up, but they move in with the global to prevent anyone from being sent back home packing. And they get the immediate kill on the DS. Now Sakata Warless Punch. We've seen this story before, buddy. And he will get stopped from rage TPing out.
Good rotations coming out from Vici.
Great global used too.
Yep.
I mean, otherwise that Tinker could have been sent back packing. It was a good position there from the Disruptor, but yeah, they dish out all the stops from Vici to take that fight that they needed.
Yeah, and July maybe playing a little bit too high up. He wanted to get maybe like a combo with the Disruptor, but getting caught out by the Centaur, just getting blown up, instantly unable to get his mech off or anything.
Yeah.
Needs to be a little bit careful when he's the one of the most farms cores on his team.
Now Metamorph turnaround. VGJ looking to claim their third tier 1 tower. A rotation comes out from in July. Disruptor's already here, but do they have enough to stop VGJ from claiming this one?
They've got the combos if they want to. VGJ seems to be a little bit reluctant on sieging this one without global and without Stampede.
IG will see it too. They have some of those deep wards that the pull-off will be there. If they get a glimpse back on in July with some help nearby, could be pretty good, but it looks like they're not going to make a move for anything at this moment. So back away they go. We see Freeze here, closer to the Blink Dagger. You know, step 2 of step 6 for your Tinker, whatever it may be. Whether it be the Aether Lens, Agnums, heavy favoring of the Burst and the Laser, which I would imagine being able to get out more marches and laser through the illusions, perhaps? Or do you think there's a need to maybe go for heavy burst? I mean, against Terrorblade, or not against Terrorblade, against Lifestealer, maybe under the global, you're trying to get the most damage possible?
But it depends on how he feels like he wants. We've seen a lot of like the Aether Lens into the Aghanims just so you have that boost potential in team fights. Since VGJ doesn't really have the greatest team fight, they have the Centaur and the global coming on top. I think Aghanims would probably suit pretty well just to have that burst potential and increased team fight from it. We'll see which one he wants to go for. Blink into Aether into Ags tends to be the more common one, but we did see at the group stages, we did see a Blink into Dagon, I think 1 or 2 times.
It's Blink period now in this game. Dogfight needs his Blink. It looks like he's got it, and we saw the armlet almost done. In fact, his Blink is going to be going by himself.
On top.
Sunstrike
Gets the snowball off, though.
Yep, saves himself from the burst
and
of
now
pure
the
damage.
turnaround.
And ROTK shows up and gets redemption. Poor Dogfights.
14 int now on it, Fenrir. Losing int as Sand King 2 when you go Tranquil Boots is pretty painful. Thankfully, you get that mana talent if he does want to go for it, which he probably will.
It looks so tempting, too. Like, you're in the trees, you got your Blink, you're ready to show off, you got a Soul Tusk, you think with the Sunstrike.
The Sunstrike was slow, though. It was a little bit off the mark, because since Sand King stun lasts for like 2.2 seconds, you always should be able to get the Sunstrike on time, so it's just a little bit of a miscommunication maybe coming out from IGV, but also a quick reaction coming out from FY for that snowball.
Look how they can be punished for it. Immediately aggressive. Back on the objective warpath here with that Metamorph.
That's a big fear of when they do use the epicenter. That's their big defender of these tier 1s, these tier 2s. I mean, tier 1s are all mostly dead, so whenever he uses that, that's VGJ's time to just go time.
Yeah, Blink Epi Lifestealer Bomb is by far the biggest like weapon that IG have, and now without the fear of Dogfights nearby, go Dogfights. Burrows in, eats some shots. Tier 3 will end up going down. And Vici seeing if they can grab a hold of any scraps here. In July moves within the trees, and they're going to make their jump. There is a counter Static Storm that is going to be coming out and allow them to get the finish on OTK, but so much damage is firing out from aggressive that they should be able to get the finish on not just Sakata, but they'll take down Dogfights too. VGJ still with a significantly heavy-handed fight, taking a tier 2 and a double kill for your Terrorblade makes it all the sweeter.
They're always happy with that, you know. Even if the Tusk like snowballs in the Centaur, they go for like this kind of like, maybe you look at it and you're like, man, that's a big dive, but aggressive, whenever they do that, you force the Static Storm on one location, you force all the aggression on one side, and then aggressive just stand there, just going to town onto the Lifestealer, just right-clicking non-stop.
Oh no, this is when I start looking at the hero picks a bit closer and deciding how we feel about something like the Darkseer in this kind of a game. He's going to be providing later on great high ground defense, but you know, up to this point, I guess you were hoping to get these Greaves online and then come together, push, and take objectives, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, he's still getting bursted down. They're not really able to group up and go for those type of things. I'm not really seeing them use the Infest bombs either. I just think I heard one, actually, but we'll take a look at that in a second after this replay. Dogfights, not really able to get like nice initiations. We don't see like a vacuum combo, and here we go. We do see the Infest come out. We did hear it. So I think that's what they need to be doing. They need to be using the Sand King with the Infest bombs, and then they can have the Darkseer come in for a follow-up. They can't just like Darkseer run in and try to make this engagement. In July has to be hiding for the most part in these situations, because if he gets jumped on with the Centaur and he gets globaled, sure, now he has Guardian Greaves, he can still get burst by the amount of damage that VGJ shows. So he really needs to be very careful with his positioning, because he is the master for his team fights for them.
That's where, you know, also look at the pick a bit more. It's like, did you need a second backup? Did you need another insurance policy to be able to make these fights start, lead in, maybe be the extra vehicle for the Lifestealer? Well,
ROTK. This might be where they use an Epicenter. This one's worth it.
Okay, there's the Epi.
Yeah, he should go down here with the Sunstrike. Yeah.
There's the move. Is it going to be enough?
Oh my goodness, with the hood activation, he's actually not brought down by it. It's only a level 1 Epicenter. Wow. I actually thought they might have enough damage to bring him down there, but underestimating how much magic resistance he actually has.
Epi down. Let's see with this given window what VG could actually do about it.
Damn, he actually survived that. I really thought they were going to get him with that one.
Centaur too strong. Too big.
Yeah, that hood. Good purchase coming out for OTK. Probably going to be finishing up the pipe as well, since the Sand King Disruptor. It's a lot of magic damage burst coming out.
And there's Paul, who's enjoying the game as well.
Hi, Paul.
I'd like to see the game, not Paul. Always a pleasure, though.
Yeah. So we do have a smoke coming out for Vici. Looks like they're trying to get some invasion happening and using their ultimates up, since everything is up except for Stampede, which will be shortly. They're trying to make their own aggressive position. IGV. Scan comes out by Radiant. They do catch a couple.
Okay, can they make the move? Dogfight goes into Sandstorm. That decides to make his own jump in for ROTK.
Nice combo.
But there's the combo. Coming out aggressive though, flexes his muscles right through it, popping the BKB into Metamorph, and shoves IG back, saying, I'm glad you got that set up, but you're not going to do anything about it. But ROTK does get glimpsed back inside, and they hit him with a bomb combo. ROTK goes down. They do commit the Static Storm. IG take their win, and I think VG take their leave.
Maybe a little bit of a preemptive Static Storm, but just wanted to make sure that the Centaur doesn't get brought down. Probably wanted to cover in case there's like a snowball and something on top, but good defense there coming out for IGV, but they had to commit a lot. Stampede wasn't online either for VGJ, but they did use their BKBs coming out from the Terrorblade meta as well, so great defense coming out from IGV. Nice combo there,
I was a little concerned because
I saw the meatball and I was like, uh-oh, and then in July just was like, I got this, I'm
I gotta say though, after the initial combo, it didn't look like it hit VGJ that hard. I mean, maybe the credit comes from the pipe that
the BKB
has and the BKB, but yeah, they were still able to make swings.
I'm not sure if he actually has the pipe finish. I think he only has the hood on himself just still,
that's
yeah.
Right.
But still, I mean, he blocks a lot of it with the barrier for himself. It's 325, plus the reduction definitely does make a big difference.
Action thing, or whatever it's called, looks the same there, but
very similar.
Here, Vici shrugged that one off. Not able to get that tier 2 down the mid. Possible eyes closer towards the Roche pit at this point in time, but whatever the case may be. VGJ back to the grind here, working around, of course, their cooldowns, working around the timing, of course, of freeze.
It looks like he's going to go for that Aghanims, just going for a bit more team fight potential, and just, I mean, it's good stats. It's always like, it's not always really a Dagon game when you're versus a Lifestealer and an Invoker. You can burst down the Invoker, but Lifestealer always has that rage. RTK, very aggressive blink coming in. And uses Stampede and Paparazzi's.
Just so angry that gank didn't work out. He had to call out the Stampede for it, but slipped and gone. Invoker not going to get caught on this day. Holds highest net worth right now. Are we concerned at all for IG and their Lifestealer here?
That's I was gonna say we're concerned for the Lifestealer.
He's a little underfarmed. You know, he's even trailing behind the Darkseer on this one. This could help though. Let's get some bombs underway here. Let's get him some kills. Get him some money. See if they can find a setup here, and it looks like poor little Super could pay the price, but nope. It's FY on the other end who ends up getting dished. Now a setup, Static Storm as they try to move on forward, but the rockets are flying out, hitting the supports on those back lines. And VG take one of their own. ROTK thinking about chase on the dogfights, but he's already long gone. Static Storm was committed there, and a Metamorph it looks like, so they'll have to make something out of it.
Maybe a slight advantage for IGV. Forcing that BKB and forcing the meta, and then it's a trade for the support. They get more experience for killing FY, a little bit more gold as well. So that's a little slight win, small wins. Just wanted to correct myself as well. Sand actually does not have a mana talent. I'm a noob. And he only gets armor or magic resistance. He ends up going for the armor this time. And he's building toward a Veil, so he's trying to amplify the teamfight potential rather than going for like a 4-staff type of save thing. He's just trying to amplify all their damage, so interesting little approach by Dogfights.
Here is VGJ though, still with the back end of the Metamorph. And their Tinker kind of pressuring down this mid lane a bit. IG just fully residing within their own jungle here, taking all that farm for themselves, but it looks like they're going to set up something new. Super's got the stuff. Looks like he's waiting for everyone else to head over a bit. No, they're going to take their business all the way bottom. I thought they might smoke and make a play happen, but it's attention to the Roche Pit here.
It's good that they're using the Infest, though, like every single time now it's up. They're trying to go for those type of plays. Paparazzi's pushing out side lanes. Now he has a BKB finished up to deal with that global, to deal with those type of jump potentials coming out in the massive magical burst. Bottom lane, though, looks like the Epi is going to be coming out onto Freeze when he boxes in. Sunstrike on the mark, cleans up. Nice, that was a good read. That's why they ended up going for bottom. They predicted him to be moving, so excellent read there by Dogfights making that move.
Yeah, taking the cross-country trip certainly pays off. Feeling that maybe VG were adding too much pressure towards the mid and top lane. Leaves the Tinker open and alone. Good grab up there for IG, and now feeling a bit more confident for themselves.
Sakata going for a very, very fight-oriented build. Fenrir is 91% kill participation in this game. Very impressive.
Intel stolen.
A lot of it from the Sanking, because the Sanking has very low base in right now, as far as I can see.
Mild glimpse send back as Paparazzi begins his siege forward for this tier 1. They are positioned nearby, ready, but it is Vici on the high ground.
Pipe is ready. In July has the Pipe finished. He has the Guardian Greaves. They have Echo Saber finished on Lifesteal. He's going for the Mjolnir build, as I was mentioning. So he's like want to push side lanes in, also wanted to deal with the Terrible Illusions, and just wanted to be like just a fighting force. Aggressive, gets spotted in the tree line. He's got BKB and everything. He's just able to walk out, though, with that tree cut.
No connection with a tornado.
ROTK, though, showing himself. The combo coming in with the Vacuum Meteor, Deafening Blast, cleans up ROTK. They have to disengage. Aggressive, running away, though, with the meta used. Didn't have to use BKB. Paparazzi uses his BKB, and it looks like IGV is going to be a bit satisfied with that one since they forced the meta.
Yeah, right to the Roche Pit. Why not? Centaur's out of this one. 35 seconds.
They've still got Wall, they still got Epi, they still got Static Zone. Paparazzi's very low on mana, though, which is a little bit concerning.
They're heading that way, maybe to be able to do something about it. Tinker nearby with the power of a Shrine if it's available. He can spam out a lot of spells and make it very difficult for IG to be able to follow through with this.
They're waiting out the meta. They only need to wait like 20 more seconds, not even. They don't have a Shrine up, though, so Paparazzi does have to go back to base. He was very unhealthy on the mana department. So.
Factor of that.
Yeah, they just...
DK would be back soon. It's just not the right time.
Not worth the risk at this moment. They're feeling like they have their Midas built on the Lifestealer. They have the Invoker for the late game as well.
That's good. One bad fight there, and IG would just give away pretty much the advantage that they built up for themselves. And attend to the nearby jungle and the farm there. Vici kind of come nearby, still acknowledging the presence of that Roche and wanting to be near it. They can simply put the Tinker out there to kind of help with those side lanes where necessary, which is currently the bottom. But
Global's still down. Got to make the plays happen.
Yeah, IG go back on the warpath here, smoked up, looking to be able to get this good pick. There's an illusion nearby. No smoke pop though, so they're moving on.
Here we go.
They might have to
get the wraparound here. FY. Fenrir is going to be the one to get grabbed up. And he bursted FY. Does he even get the snowball? He's not able to get it in time though. He gets hit by the Sunstrike too, and he should be brought down quite easily here as well. Kinetic field a little bit off the mark.
Are FY going to make it out? Yes.
Oh, man, he actually gets out with the Stampede. Oh, he gets cleaned up.
A lot committed already for VG to try to get those saves. As they lose 2, that will secure the Roche now for IG. They head right back for it.
I was like, I got speechless for a moment because I was like, oh my god, he's going to live. What's going on here?
I mean, VG have been able to pull a lot of those kind of fast ones this game, this series already, but this time, no, not going to be the case.
Not with the glimpse follow through. Freeze getting in a good position, getting some marches thrown out. They do have a ward on the high ground though with Static Storm coming in. Freeze, Meatball, Sunstrike cleaned up. Beautiful ward coming out from IGV on that high ground to secure themselves the Roche. 48 seconds on the Tinker. Global is back online, but will VG want to fight this? Is Meta back up?
It's taken him a while to bring it down with Paparazzi dancing within now the pit. Now Metamorph running into action. Aggressive is going to get hit with the stuns. Now pops his BKB and turns back with the right click. Roche helping up from behind. Sunders onto Sakata and brings him low. Vacuum wall counterplay going to be there, but is it going to be enough for IG, or is the damage already going to be done? They turn back, looking to go for aggressive. Rolling forward is going to be FY looking to assist. They can't seem to bring down aggressive. They'll finally get him down, only after he gets the double kill. Now VGJ jump back towards their side here, taking a more significant fight and preventing IG from doing the Roche. It is just so difficult for them to commit inside the pit. Even after the successful pickup on Tinker, who's not involved in this fight whatsoever, that just means that suddenly the Metamorph is up, plus the Global.
Yeah.
VG have a lot of weapons to be able to bring out, even then as they lose 1, they have another 2 to work with.
Having the meta up there, having the BKB up from aggressive, he just, like you said, flexes muscles. He literally runs right into the pit, just man fighting a couple times, just turns to Sakata, and he's like, oh, full heal, thank you, Sunder. Continue, though, IGV showing that Paparazzi in July, these 2 other cores, they're still very, very farmed. Lots of damage and teamfight potential coming out from these 2.
Lots of respect here for both sides, as they'll have to back off a bit now.
The Terrorblade illusion as well from the wall from in July was beating the crap out of everybody too.
Very helpful.
Everything adds up. Dogfights wasn't actually able to get the Epicenter off in that fight either. FY was doing a very good job of zoning him, but he got a couple good stuns that
Okay, third try here for IG, but then here comes the shards and here comes VG saying, can you guys please stop it?
Oh, FY got clipped by that EMP. So FY is completely for this upcoming engagement.
Is that Shrine nearby available? He blinks across to it, and it looks like it is.
He needs it.
Very thankful. Thank you, Frog, for adding in these sweet, delicious water pools of life.
They do see that, though. So IGV do see the 2 of them over there. They do spot that. And VG actually tries to de-ward the high ground vision there. They don't find it.
They didn't find it. They actually got both sides of the ward, but not the ward itself, so they're still under the watchful eye. And they moved him for the bomb, trying to get a hold of FY, but he gets the snowball off, and his team is coming in from behind. He still manages to blink away and dodge the tornado. He's putting him on a serious wild goose chase. And finally, July steps in, gets off the wall vacuum onto aggressive. He's going to be forced to pop BKB and go in for dogfights. They will get the dogfights kill. A 1-for-1 trade at the moment, costing them the global silence. But look who shows up on the other side. It's Paparazzi blasting it on in. Gonna get the finish as he takes out Freeze. Now maybe IG for the 4th attempt will be able to move into the pit and finally get this Roche.
Yeah, it looks like they should be able to clean this one up finally.
That
ward,
yeah,
that ward is, the vision is just owning them right now in this entire game. They put up a second one after the other one went down. They have another one over there in the high ground though, so they're able to see all the different avenues that VG tried to take to go for that Roche fight. Meta was not expended, thankfully, though. It was on cooldown when he did pop the BKB from aggressive.
Just a serious flurry of events the whole mid-game to finally take the Roche. That was like the Roche saga. It's over now, and finally passed him behind. We got to see what IG are going to be able to do with the benefit of the Aegis. And here we see a quick jump for FY, but look how long. Quick force from Fenrir. Yeah, look how long it takes him to finally get that kill.
But the positioning from IGV is very good in this fight. Look at them all kind of segregated on the right. There's no reveal for dogfights up here on the top left. FY gets hit by the vacuum wall. They do kind of disengage from it, but still, the damage is done. The Terrorblade illusion is there. The Invoker ends up blinking onto the high ground there, deafening blast onto the non-BKB'd Terrorblade, able to clean up the Tinker as well from that one. So nice little fight there coming out from IGV with the vision. Just vision, very important for this one. Same thing in the last game. Look around the Roche pit. There's like 4 vision wards, 3 sentries.
Yeah, if I dropped all those in a pub, people would think I was so bad because they're just all on top of each other. But you can see the critical vision necessary for these fights. They're making a move from Fenrir. He's able to get the force off, but they'll glimpse him right back and get the finish.
Quick, fast-paced fights from IGV, just constantly trying to run at them, make stuff happen because Global is down. Global is a long cooldown.
Go.
Every single time you've got the Sand King, you've got the Infest, just try to go. They've got the Aegis as well. Now there's their time to attempt to siege. It's still very difficult versus the Tinker, though. They do have Pipe finished up on in July, as we were mentioning earlier, so Guardian Greaves was Pipe. They have a lot of different ways to mitigate the damage so they can siege a bit better. They have Lift forced out. FY, trying to spam out Zakata a little bit.
And can they burst him down enough? He gets the pipe to help with the missile. Aggressive will have to eat the Tornado EMP. It looks like they may be able to hold the tier 2, at least for now, as Fenrir needs about 10 seconds more time to be up with the global ready to go. Maybe VGJ try to use that global as he comes back. Greaves, though, has been popped. FY will be able to blink away from the open wounds.
Oh, dogfights.
Okay.
Ooh, quick blink.
But the snowball chase is there. Can't go much further. IG are able to pull off just in time, but after getting a pickup on Fenrir moving forward, they only do a little bit of softening damage on a tier 2. Not as much objectively at the moment as they would like, so they have to go back to the farm.
Yep, Sakata thankfully went for like the Mjolnir build, so he's going to be able to push lanes out very quickly. He's also going to be able to do good damage on the team fights. You see the 15s coming out, the talent coming up on talent, so 2 supports are going to be pretty fast to die.
The way they're too. I don't know if it's been acknowledgement of the Yule's pick up on the Disruptor. He could just take off the global and be there with the Static Storm or Glimpse or anything else, so that's great.
It's always great to speak of the devil. Fenrir just gets caught out again by another Infest Gang. This great aggression coming out from IGV. I really like Yule's pick up on Disruptor because it's also, you can use it in aggressive manners as well as defensive manners. You can throw it like the Tinker's in a bad position. You just throw him in the air, you Static Storm under, and there's no way that he can get out of it. The same thing with like the Centaur, maybe with the Tusk as well. You have both defensive and aggressive potentials with it.
Definitely feels like VG have been totally on the defensive side of things for this one, as opposed to what we saw in like the previous game with ROTK Centaur making huge setups, huge plays, jumps, blink and stomps. But this game he has been unfortunately a bit neutered on that front.
Yeah, they don't have nearly as much as team fight in comparison to IGV. So when those team fights do happen, and since their team fight there has much longer cooldown coming from the meta and from the global silence and from like Stampede, fighting into IGVs is a bit harder because IGV just really, they need a stun with an Infest and then maybe like a vacuum on top, and they can get maybe 1 or 2 kills. Sure, they have a lot of other ultis that do have some long cooldowns, but they don't need them for a lot of those. Nice little deny from aggressive.
Frickin' backdoor protection is just like trolling them so they can't finish it, and aggressive's like, I'll take care of it for you. They get denied a bit of gold, but they get their second tier 2 down, advancing this game forward. It's IG fighting with everything they got to keep this series alive and push it to a game 3. Coming off a strong performance yesterday, shutting down LFY, and as we know, Vici pulling out a nice best of 1, taking a game that probably wasn't rightfully theirs away from NP, and still holding things alive here in the lower bracket.
Fenrir knows something's up. He has a ward in the jungle. They did see dogfights hiding down here, so they're gonna go for the scout.
Sigil.
They're gonna spot him in a second.
Spot him. Can you hit him real quick? Hit him real quick. No.
He should be able to
under
get
his nose.
The chase on. They have the Stampede for the slow. He is infested still with Sakata. The punch was already used, so Sakata can still TP out if he wants to.
His rage is already out there.
Doesn't have one though.
Tornado is there. EMP. Paparazzi
big combo.
Hits him so hard. He's like, maybe we can make a fight out of it. He will be able to get the burst onto FY. Aggressive is forced to pop his BKB for it. Now IG can look to chase him down. Aggressive on the run, but he gets slowed with the Ghost Walk right there, and the Glimpse catches him. They pull him right back into a beautiful Static Storm combo. A global going to be forced, but it's just going to be too late. 1 by 1, Vici have to run.
Paparazzi's going ham right now.
Paparazzi, the man, the magician. Looking for more, not going to catch a tornado on that one, but makes the setup right there.
Beautiful combo there. Great discipline coming out from Sakata just to stay in the fight. They already know dogfights. He's a Sand King. He already got the minus 30-second respawn talent. He comes back very quickly. Sakata still had the Aegis there. It was getting reclaimed very shortly. It did get reclaimed like right in the middle of the fight, kind of. Yeah. But aggressive, needing to force that, pop that BKB early from the beautiful combo from Paparazzi. ROTK with the stun coming in. Sand King stun off the mark.
Oh, vacuum is there, but Vici not caught in the midst of it. They're looking to scrap around the outside and get more. Dogfights will also go down with the help of the missiles firing out. Tier 3 holds on. Sunstrike.
Just
barely alive on that one. Good high ground hold as expected with this Tinker lineup from Vici, but IG will claim a bit more.
FY gets the courier. He really wanted that. He's stuck on the high ground now, though. Do they want to go for this? No, it's too close to the shrine. It's a bit risky for them. They don't feel like they want to do that.
It's crazy to think also how the turn of events could have changed so much more. Let's say if FY was able to get a hold of dogfights in that initial tree line part. I don't think Paparazzi would have been able to make it over in time. The same with the tornado, but unfortunately he didn't catch him right under his nose there. Allows all those series of events to break out.
Very fortunate series of events coming out from IGV. We do see Invoker now, level 25. He's got that obnoxious minus 18-second tornado cooldown. So we'll be seeing lots of those being thrown out.
I also happen to see Fenrir with 30 intel.
Yeah.
Even though he keeps getting, I feel like he's tanking a lot of the ganks here in the later game, he's still finding his way to be a part of these fights.
When you see a Sand King with a Veil and he only has 500 something mana, you know that he's dying a lot to near that silencer.
I'm just not getting much smarter here. But working his way to building up into more mobility and more mana pool, of course, to even work with there. VGJ, though, on a bit of the offensive here. It's kind of dark on the side of IG, so maybe looking to make a bit of invade, plant down some of those wards, be able to keep track of the movements of IG. And now even bringing in Tinker towards the mid lane. It looks like a siege is on here. We haven't seen VGJ go back on the across the river in a while, so.
Yeah, I think that the DD Terror Blade is like the big one, and they have the global, so they're like, all right, we keep getting gone on ourselves. We have global, let's try to make something happen. DD though, wearing off, looks like IGV trying to make the pressure happen.
Oh, they saw the Tinker go to the bottom lane here. Maybe they're hoping to take a fight in the mid before he can show up.
Fenrir's like, I'll tank the gank.
I do it. It's my service to the team. But they stampede.
They do want to go for this engagement.
Fight. Injalight runs right towards the high ground and towards the open arms of VG, but now the rest of IG are going to be able to show up. Vacuum wall right on the staircase above. Aggressive tries to move the low ground, but he gets hit with the deafening blast back. Now Dogfight shows up with the Epi and the team fight here. FY very low. Him and Aggressive slowly try to walk their way back, but they're going to be able to get the catch. Freeze goes down to the power of Sakata and Disruptor, and it's just going to be all IG all day on this one as they wipe the floor with 5. Aggressive doing everything he can to try to stay alive, but he goes down. Sakata with a double kill. This fight is all IG. Roche is up, but they are going down the mid lane.
It almost looked like they didn't really want to fight. They put Fenrir on the low ground. I guess they were expecting to take the fight onto the high ground, but a great wraparound coming out from IGV just completely catches VG off guard. It looked like Fenrir kind of knew, but he did. I guess he was positioning himself on the opposite side, gets picked off, and then they still try to go for the engagement. Paparazzi with a beautiful combo, pretty much killing ROTK, burning lots of the mana on the fight. Then Dogfights with a nice epicenter can follow up. Just beautiful spell coordination coming out from IGV.
Beautiful. IGV kind of sense they see the Tinker bottom lane. That was all set up from a wonderful smoke wraparound. VG were just, they were convinced that IG were going to be defending that mid lane somehow, and they were going to have the high ground advantage and make an approach, but they were wrong on that one. And look at the rewards coming in from IG from it. They claim the mid lane and get the tier 2 here in the bottom on top of it. Not the end of the world here for VG.
Painful though. Aggressive having to buy back as well is very, very painful now.
This is very painful. They've certainly got the air knocked right out of them. And it's just kind of even more overtime for Freeze now. He's just going to have to split out the pressure as much as possible and try to hit that critical mass and just be that high ground defenders that they know they have the strength to be. But as long as IG kind of able to dish out this pressure, I'd imagine they also, what do you think, late game scaling? I don't know. Invoker Lifesteal are very...
Invoker has that, he always has that like big like question mark because he can scale so, like he can pretty much scale like almost infinitely if he gets the proper spell combinations, if BKBs are down. Just depends on how many heroes he hits as well. I mean, Alacrity is always going to be super powerful into later stages of the game. Lifestealer went for a very scaling lineup with item build with that Midas, now into the Mjolnir, now into the AC next.
He's pretty late game right now, though.
And Disruptor is almost going to have an Aghanims as well. I think VG's feeling very pressured, very, very
And they're going right in. I don't know if IG are ready for this one. They stampede and hit the global, and that means that Lifestealer can't pop out of dogfights on this one. They're going to be connecting with a nice little tornado play, but Aggressive looking to go for the finish. Can't quite get it on there. Zinjalite will get dropped. Dogfights takes his package out the other side. Now a return fire comes out. Paparazzi and Super isolate a hold of Aggressive here, trying to drop down the stack storm, but RTK jumps in, gets off the 2-man stomp. And FY and company have to back on out. Paparazzi able to get the finish. RTK can't quite run away. They catch him with a tornado. And they'll get him with one last right click. Double kill for Paparazzi.
Just because of how much of a deficit that they're at right now, this Darkseer, they get the jump on him, but you see how tanky he is? He just gets the pipe off, he has Shivas already, uses Guardian Greaves, just not able to bring him down in time, and that's when the fight just prolongs for a bit too long. The BKB starts going down from Aggressive, then Paparazzi just goes berserk, dropping all of his spells everywhere. Even though the Lifestealer wasn't on the left side of the fight, he was fighting on the right side, it still didn't matter. It was the Paparazzi show with the Static Storm on top of Aggressive.
And it's hard to say within that moment if VG needed to kind of target something differently. There was Sand King right there stuck under the silence. If he could have maybe burst him down and forced to get the Lifestealer out early on, it could have been a bit different here, but they move in and they've already scouted out the Darkseer, and they're like, let's just go for him. But like you said, this guy's durable as hell.
And Paparazzi getting the Tornado off before Aggressive's able to get that BKB, so Aggressive loses a lot of his damage potential. The BKB's already only 5 seconds, so he gets glimpsed back into a Static Storm, and then, yeah, he's just dead from there.
Yeah, it's over. And then Freeze unable to get involved. They were able to kind of force him out from the fight. This one's looking like all IG at this point. They'll claim the Roche and the Aegis here. They've already claimed 2 lanes of racks.
Yeah, Paparazzi's having an incredibly good showing this game on the Invoker in July on the Darkseer too. Maybe had a couple slip-ups, but ever since once he started realizing what he needed his position to be, ever since he picked up that pipe, since he picked up that plate mill, he's much more innately tanky. Doesn't need to really have worry about his positioning too much, and they're just bringing it to fruition.
Here comes IG, feeling like they're running down that home stretch.
Level 25 already on Lifestealer too, so this is where he can match up even better versus Terrorblade, because now, even though he's already over-farmed, he gets that plus 15 armor as well. With AC, he's sitting on, I don't know, like 50-something armor versus Terrorblade. That's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, he's like the only physical beat to come out from this one.
Yeah. 47 armor on a Lifestealer versus a Terrorblade.
It's okay.
That's like 70% damage reduction, you know?
Now, still respect for VGJ and their high ground defense, the March of Machines, the Global that's going to possibly be there.
Refresher now on Paparazzi too with the BKB, so he can always be able to get the Refresher BKB. Even if he gets Globaled after the first one, he can refresh it and do it again. So Paparazzi, we're going to be seeing a lot of spells coming out of him.
Who likes magic?
Eyes on the Magic Man.
Who wants to watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat? There, though.
Big vacuum combo.
Pullback, good in the wall. Not good enough for the lockdown finish, but look how they drag FY back in. He tries to blink back, but ooh, Glimmer, and no connection with the Sunstrike.
Yep, not wanting to dive into tier 4s. I mean, they've already committed to the wall, but then it's like, ooh, we should not really be here. They forced a Stampede at least, and now a little bit more discipline coming out from IGV, just letting the side lanes push in a bit, going for that type of slow game, just methodical.
It is. I mean, VGJ are holding on to the last real strength in this game and their high ground defense, and IG not looking to underestimate or throw away the advantage they built up for themselves at this point to close the game out. One set of racks pretty much puts the nail in the coffin here and secures their game 3, but VGJ, we don't want to let this go. Tornado EMP is going to force out a BKB, it will, and now they're going to be forced to fight also on top of it with the help of the Global. Can they get the burst to finish out Paparazzi here? At least get the Aegis down, they can't quite get it. Oh, IG are going to be able to turn back with a Static Storm and a Burrow coming out from dogfights, but they will be able to burst down the Sand King. ROTK also goes down. Sunder there for Sakata brings him pretty damn low, but Aggressive gets thrown up in the air and down to his Sunstrike. He does manage to get the first initial burst and finish on the Darkseer, but eventually IG will be able to turn around and chomp him to bits. He's out of this one without a buyback, and that could be VGJ throwing in the towel. Freeze is the last man standing for this defense. A buyback forced out just for IG to try to close this one out, and they'll get it, and they have earned their game 3.
I really like the approach they did this game. I think the lanes ended up being much better for them. They kept forcing VGJ to